Hi, I'm with the renowned photographer Jim Brandenburg, who's had the good fortune to get his hands on a Nikon D800, and we're just here to get a few thoughts on it, what you think of it. Obviously it had not come on sale yet at the time we're speaking. So can I start by asking how long you had to have the camera for?
I had the camera for a month.
Right.
I had it last summer, and I think the plan was to have it released sooner, but of course nature ruled.
You had it last summer?
Had it for a month last summer.
I guess they've tweaked a few things since you were given the camera.
Yes, I had 4 prototypes, and each one did something slightly different.
Right.
And we were on the line with the engineers daily, if not hourly, talking to Tokyo.
Right. What do you currently, up to that point you're using D3S, is that right?
D3S was kind of my main big boy camera, as they call it, but I love the D7000 for just kind of the casual walk around.
Yeah. So when they told you they've got a camera that's 36 megapixels, what was your initial reaction to that? Were you excited, or were you like, whoa, that could be good or bad?
Well, Nigel, because most of my work is for art prints in my galleries. And you can never make a print too big, you know, the photographer, especially if it can hold up. I couldn't quite believe it. A 16-bit file opened up out of a RAW is a little over 200 megabytes. So it really adds up fast.
A lot of storage space.
It's intimidating to some people that don't deal with no excuses resolution. And it's probably not a camera for everybody, but for me, it's the defining ultimate camera. If I had to pick one camera, if I could have one body, one camera, right now, no question that's the camera I would have. No question about it. Just before I left, I made a 44-inch print off of one of my frames. And I don't like to hang too many images up on my wall of my home. And this thing just went up there, and my colleagues, photographers and non-photographers, look at it. My photographer friends look like it was shot with a Hasselblad or a 4x5. It defies all my years of shooting. It's not a 35mm look. Right. It looks like medium format at least, and 4x5.
Really?
I'm really not kidding at all. It's a game changer for me.
Were you concerned that because the pixels obviously going to be smaller, that you might have problems with noise? Or, I mean, were you shooting at high ISOs, or mostly it's at low ISO, isn't it? I
think generally the consensus is the higher the resolution, the more noise you're going to get. But I was really impressed. We never have enough light in nature. They live in a deep forest, and the animals are moving at early hours and late hours. So noise is a very important factor, but I pushed this camera. I think I did some personal tests, and I think I went up to around 10,000 or something, and I was very impressed. It's quite a bit better than the 700. My ultimate dream as a photographer all through my life, I really wanted to be a 4x5 shooter, large format. I never got into Hasselblad, probably because I never could quite afford them when I was younger. Well, I've got the Hasselblad quality. I used a Bronica, you know, medium format. I've got a medium format camera now. It's got almost like a point and shoot. I mean, it's amazing. Now, here's the thing we have to know. The limitations you have with a 4x5 now are starting to creep in a little bit to the 35 with a high resolution. This camera is so high resolution that you can't be sloppy when you're out shooting. You have to have your technique down a little bit. If you're going to take it to the full advantage, the 70 to 200 is that lens. That's the lens I used for my main picture. That was the one shot we were going to do the big fold outs. I think when they print the final catalogs, I think there's going to be a fold out, if I remember right. I remember they told me now we have to have images that can blow up the size of a house. For shows, and so it has to be really no excuses, and there's no post-processing in this stuff.
None really. So the pictures
none.
You're showing is okay.
There's no Photoshop. There's no fooling around. In my stuff there is. I do a little bit, but the Nikon. This is for Nikon. They just can't touch it with a Photoshop. That adds a whole other layer of suspicion, and so they open it in their software, and what you see is what you get.